Hello and welcome. I'm on the lot at the used lot, and today we want to talk about this extra sticker that cars have, like this one, where they have all these extra things. And I want to talk to you about this and why it's a bad deal in my opinion, and you should never buy it. Remember, everything at a used car lot is negotiable, and some lots are worse than this than others. So look at this stuff that's added to this car, and you see all these cars. It's on all of them. And we're going to talk about why that's a problem in a minute, especially on one car that I saw up front. Too much traffic, so we can't go over there. So let's talk about it right here on this older Flex. And it has nothing to do with the car, okay? So let's go first to this Auto Advantage Appearance Protection for $1,000. All right, so what that does, and look at right here, it protects the car from acid rain, bird droppings and stuff. First thing I would do is submit it for these wheels. Oh my gosh. $1,000, and it also is interior protection. Now, what we did when we would sell this kind of stuff, when I sold cars, is all they would do is Scotch guard the interior with that spray, right, which you can get for like $8, and the exterior, you were lucky if they washed it. Here's a little story as we look around here and look at my very clean Escape, which got washed again. I had a guy buy a Prelude from me, but he couldn't, and he bought the paint protection. They sold it in the F&I office. I didn't sell it. And he goes, oh, okay, so he'll bring it back. He couldn't do it right then or whatever. So he brings the car back in like a couple weeks. It had a bunch of bugs on the front of it, right? So he had been driving it, and there were a bunch of bugs on the front of it, on the bumper, and he brings it in, and they put on what they call as paint protection, right? I love how put the car right here, and then they cut the grass. So he had paint protection, and the bugs were still on the front of the car when he came back, and he noticed that, and I did too. I didn't think anything about it when it came out, and he's just rubbing on it like this, and he rubs the bugs off with his thumb. He goes, look, how are they protecting the paint? What did they do to seal the paint in if there's still bugs on there and they're not even sealed in? He goes, this is such a scam. And I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't have bought it, basically. And the thing is, do you think he ever came back? He didn't. Okay, he didn't come back to buy another car. And so this kind of paint protection stuff, now I don't know about this place. I never worked at this dealer. Do they even do anything? I don't know. I wouldn't buy it. Okay, I would tell you not to buy any of this stuff. So here's Value Shield, Diminished Value Protection, $549. So I looked that up. I never heard of that. What it is, in my opinion, you do not buy that either. If your car is in an accident, when you go to trade it in, you get the difference from them of what it would have been worth without an accident on your Carfax and what it is currently worth because of that accident. That is very speculative, and I gotta say, using these terms, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, so this is not legal advice. But the amount of difference is very speculative on what the difference is in what it's worth and what it's worth to the accident. And I'll tell you, the longer you're out from an accident, the less of a difference there is in the price, okay? After several years, it doesn't affect the price of your car much because it's been a few years out. After 5 years late of an accident, there's virtually no difference in the value of your car versus one that didn't have an accident 5 years ago. And you know, we all know, when you go to trade a car in at the dealer, you go, oh, let me turn my car in. This dealer gives you one price, that dealer gives you a price, right? That one over there gives you a price. They're all different. So how do you determine what the difference really is? I'd like to know what they want from that. I bet you have to get something in writing from somebody that says, hey, because of this accident, we're paying less for this car. It's not just going to be you writing to them and going, hey, you owe me $4,000, okay? Believe me, it's not going to be that simple. And remember, if you don't have an accident, this doesn't make any difference. Would I buy it? No. Okay. LoJack Connected Car, $399. Now, this is not the full LoJack. This is a connected car LoJack. You can go look that up, where you can monitor your car's vital functions and you know, how much gas is in it and all that through the LoJack app, through the system that's already built into the car. Well, up front, which is the car I wanted to talk about, but because of traffic, there's a 13 Spark, Chevy Spark up there. That car can no longer connect to the internet. I know this because one of my other cars is a 13 Sonic, which I do not have out here today. December 31st of 2022, it lost its ability to connect to the internet. Chevy wrote a big thing to me and everything because it's 3G only. So that car doesn't have the ability to connect through this connected car system. That's number one problem. So it would have to have, and I looked all around it, it would have to have its own new antenna system or whatever, and it doesn't. So really on that car, that's not even going to work for you. Okay, I don't think. You'd have to see how it works. Plus, what are the chances somebody steals a Chevy Spark that is 10 years old? It's only worth $5,000 probably. I don't know what they want for it. I mean, this thing's $2,000. The car's only $5,000-$6,000 car at the most, depending how many miles are on it. All right, if that. Who's going to steal it? Okay, the diminished value of that car. Okay. For this diminished value, and it's on that car too. If it's worth $5,000, what do you think the diminished value of an accident is? $4,000? I mean, any accident on that car is going to total the car. Think about that too. All right, and Pulse, safer braking, $299. That's where they take the third brake light, which is up here on this car, right? And they pulse it. When you hit the brake, it pulses. I will tell you, in some states, that's illegal to pulse that brake light. It's supposed to come on and stay on. That's how brake lights work. A lot of states, it's illegal to do. And because a dealer does it, doesn't mean it's legal. You'd have to check with your state whether that's even legal. And for $299, it's just a simple thing they do. They're saying it's $2,200. They're giving you a discount, and it's $2,000. Okay, so that's all ridiculous. Do not agree to this in the car that you get. Just tell them no to the whole thing. And what they're going to say, well, it's already on the car. Out of this $1,800, my opinion is probably $1,200 of it is profit for the dealer, maybe more. Maybe more. $1,200 at least. And so as a salesman, I got 25% of the profit that came in on car sales. So I'd get, what, $400 of that, right? Now $300. Sorry, public school, not good at math. So I would get $300 of that money as a salesman, just with the addition of this, not the car itself, where, you know, who knows what you make on it. Probably $300-$400, maybe more on a used car. Some used cars, I made $2,000 on one car. That's my part of the profit. That's how much money there is in this. But this is all negotiable. And if they say, well, sir, it's already on there, so there's nothing we can do about it. You know what you do? You go over there and buy a car. Okay? Or you go down the street. You go somewhere. You just go somewhere else. You don't buy it. Do not buy this, which in my opinion is all garbage. Okay? Garbage. Buy a can of Scotch Guard and spray the car yourself inside, wax it. I mean, it's all garbage. I think that's what I would tell you to do as a former salesman. This is just to pad the profits. There's over 200 cars on this lot. I just drove around here. It's all around the front here and everything. Okay, at $2,000, that's $400,000 of extra money they just stuck on every car. $400,000. Now, not everybody's going to pay it. And what they'll do, what we would do, oh, well, you know what? We'll knock that down to $1,500 or whatever. And people think, oh, they're giving me $400 off. No, it costs us nothing. It doesn't cost us anything to put this on the car, $300 or $400. So what we would do, where I worked, a lot of times they were big on pinstripes. So this car doesn't have one. Every car that come in, get a pinstripe right along the body line right here, right? $200. $199, they'd stick a sticker on it. It cost $12.50 because I talked to the pinstripe guy who would come a couple times a week. $12.50, $200. So we'd mark that down. You know what? We'll give you that for $100. It's almost all profit. It's all, now they've gotten all this other garbage. Do not fall for it and do not buy it. Okay, that's what I'm telling you as a salesman. Stick tough to your guns and just say no, just like Nancy Reagan told you, and don't buy it. All right, so can we do that today? All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with more tips and cars on the lot.